Good morning, traders. So I have been pretty busy yesterday was quite an interesting long-term one. And over the weekend, I've now got what we're seeing here now is Investor RT running this charting. This is the Tradovate Performance Center and quote page. And this is the Jigsaw Dome running on the Tradovate data. Now, this is quite a cobbled up mess, actually, because Tradovate doesn't support Investor RT to do with the TopStep combine. So this this Investor RT is running on a rhythmic data feed. So behind the scenes here is a rhythmic connection through our Trader Pro, and they're both using the Jigsaw and Investor RT are using the our Trader Pro gateway. Obviously, real convoluted mess, but I wanted to see how the charting looked and how it would run, and whether I liked it better. This is Renko charts, which I like a lot, and it has the wicks. Investor RT does not. And this is the 20 range chart again. So they're essentially the same. I don't have the market profile set up over here or the ES 5-minute, but I can switch this one to the ES 5-minute real quick and trade back and forth with the Renko charts. I just wanted to see how it would all look. I tried to get everything set up basically the same. It's VWAP and the 1, 2, 3 standard deviations like usual, cumulative delta. And this is kind of the best version I could get so far today of the relative volume. There's a lot more intricate charting capability and plotting and stuff on Investor RT, but I wanted to see how it was going to look. I want to watch the data run together against Jigsaw, make sure that it's moving like it's supposed to. Looks to me like it's lagging, actually. It looks like Jigsaw is moving ahead of Investor RT, at least over here on the on the dome and the range chart. Perhaps it's not. I'm tired. I had meetings till 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm now up at 5:30 with my daughter off to school. So short night. I'm going to be calling it early tonight. I just wanted to see how this looked on the stream, how it functioned. Maybe throw a trade on. I don't know, but that was not the top of my worries there, obviously. At the moment. So these are both NQ, H1, and something that you need to remember, this is rollover week, and these indices should be rolling over around Thursday. You just want to make sure that they've got the highest volume. Should be before Thursday or Friday, and I can't really pull these up and look at them like usual. Well, I might try. Let's see what happens here. If we kind of try our pre-market, what's going to happen is when this jumps up, then it's going to suddenly cover up the I didn't rebuild the Tradovate workspace, so the old one is still living behind here. I'll show you what I mean. When we go up like that, we can see that it's a risk on scenario so far. Settle here is 12,297. Now, when I close it down, this is the old Tradovate charting, obviously, and hopefully this works. And there's the Investor RT behind it. Investor RT is a much more complex software platform. Learning curve is a little bit steep, but I've used it before, so I might have a little head start. I've got the volume profiles built here, the watermark with the NQ in the back. This is, it does box out the range, but you can't really see it right now because the high's running over the top of it. And this is what the colors for the volume profile will be on the regular trading hours charts. You can see how the value area low. And there's a box here that forms the range. This is the balance area, this yellow. And this box here forms the range, as it used to be kind of that. I'll figure out how to shade that in. Like I did like that on Tradovate. I did like that on Tradovate. This pink color is a developing POC. This was a naked POC, which has now been covered up. Looks like we're just testing down here. This blue lines are value. And they're set, the color of the line is, so far I've remembered, is set the same color as the value area. So I can't have them gold like I had them on the Tradovate. So we're 42, just back in value here, according to this, but not according to that. So what's happening? Did we trade down through there, or did we not? According to Rhythmic, and now we're on two different data feeds. So according to the Rhythmic feed, we haven't traded into value yet. According to the Jigsaw feed, we traded down to 39.75, 39.50. Which would be in here. Well, maybe. And I have to remember how to get that little thingy up here that. Damn it. There's a little deal over here that I have to. Now, I want to get this little chart tool so that I can. There's a little floating toolbar that goes along the side of the charts, and I'd shut it off, and I don't remember how to turn it back on. So I can get the change the cursor to the crosshairs and all of that stuff. I don't remember where the damn thing is. Remember where the damn thing is. Oh well. I'm pretty good considering I just got this thing running about 3-4 hours ago. I got the data figured out with Rhythmic and all that stuff. So you can jam this in. You can control the range here. You can also move back and forth. Pretty good software. It's real good software, actually. Right to value area. Right to the value area high in the bounce-a-rooney for 10 points. Now, you see, I can set these. I can fix these for. I can fix these for 10 points and then still skew it up and down, and they stay 10 points. They don't auto scale. I've got them set up here. There's a million different things you can do. There's all this stuff you can do for setting your scaling. Just as an example, there's about 1.5 million ways to go here, and a lot of well-known people use this charting. Investor FT71 all the stuff his charting package and all the stuff you see on those Trader Bites, if you watch those or listen to them, that's all Investor RT. And the thing about it is you can share the chart types. I mean, you can, and it's regularly done between everybody, even him. You can open up Investor RT and there's a whole bunch of FT71 chart types. All the ones he talks about on the Trader Byte and all that stuff for free. You just grab them and pull it across, and boom, there's the chart. It's quite a comprehensive package. A little bit expensive, but you only got to make one trade or not lose one, and I think it's pretty much paid for. The issue that I have at this point is the data feed, because if I switch the combine to Rhythmic and use Investor RT, then Tradovate is gone, and I have to start over at step 1, which is pretty nasty thought. So I think what I'll do is finish this off and get funded, and then maybe start a second combine with that, and then bring that one up. So I'll have essentially 2, because you can only have one funded account at a time with TopStep, but you can do, a gazillion. Obviously, you can do as many combines as you want, of course, because you're going to be paying them. So they'd love it, do 10 or 12. Patak's got to buy a new snowboard. Got a house in Jackson now, I believe. Anyway, so I'm all registered up to get my COVID vaccine, and my family here. That'll be an interesting turn of events. It is now 2047 on the 9th of March, 2021. And whatever the hell time that is over there, that's, I can tell you exactly, that's 6:47 Central Time in the U.S. So a couple hours off couple hours away from the hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away from the open. I'm not sure whether I'll make it that long or not, but I'm feeling pretty good now, so we'll see what happens. There was quite a bit of interesting trade, as you can see. It's obvious to see here. I like 700-800. Well, let's see. There's what is it? Oh, wait, no, I'm not doing that. What's all this blinking stuff? I don't think I like the looks of that. This is running on my trading computer too, which is a real overbuilt computer with a GeForce RTX Asus 8 gigabyte 2060 Super graphics card, and 64 gigs of RAM. An AMD Ryzen 9 3900X processor, 12 core, 24 thread, and Asus 570 master motherboard with a Corsair digital 750 watt power supply, and a pair of 4-gen SSD NVMe 1 terabyte special Asus drive, and 64 gigs of Corsair RAM. So I'm pretty sure that computer's not having any problems here, but you can see what we had here. So that's 370 to 610. Gee, many Christmas. 570. That's 200 and some points across this run. just in the Globex as they came back up here to the new high. So there's been a lot of trading this today. I just didn't take advantage of any of it. I was trying to get all this different stuff set up, and then when I switched from my one workstation where I was testing everything to my trading computer, I discovered that I had to get another license from Linsoft, because you can only have the software on one device at a time, which is ridiculous. I got to talk to Bill Lynn about that. I mean, that's just stupid. Anybody that's a serious trader has got two systems for backup in case you have trouble with one. I have two computers. I have two data feeds or internet connections. One is from two separate companies, all here at the same into my trading room. So, I'm not going to buy two licenses for this. That's ridiculous. I'm sure there's some way around that. Why it's so jerky like that? That's pretty weird. I don't think I like that very much. And what do we got? I wish I got to figure out how to get that stupid little chart thing there with just got angry and turned it off because it kept floating in my way. But now I want to put the crosshairs on there and see what everything is. Figure out how to get a line at price and there's a way to do it. I just don't remember what it is. There's a million shortcuts. You can type a comma, you can type a P, you can type a period, and it just opens all different kinds of menus up, and it's geared for doing stuff in a hurry. Share charts, email, printer setup, lint chart share. They have that. It's like I don't know, Facebook or whatever, Google Drive kind of thing. They're sure having a hell of a time getting down through that value area. There's always some meal got to come in on the wrong side of the fence over here. Where are we? I'm just dying to figure out how I can tell if this is working together. And what I'm thinking I will do is be able to cite them in on the on the stream, but it looks to me like this dome is flying all over the damn place, and I don't really see the price moving that much on these charts. Going to be pretty funny if the Tradovate charts turn out being better. That'd be pretty funny. As far as, I mean, there's absolutely no comparison when it comes to configuration and things you can do, you know, rotations and my composite profiles and all that kind of stuff with it's just a completely different level. It's like a Ford and a Ferrari kind of deal. But then again, you know, an old Ford pickup is pretty damn dependable, and maybe that's what Tradovate is. I don't know. I just kept having those anomalies with the data and not being able to zoom back and forth and do the kind of things that I thought I should be able to do. So I wanted to test out something that I know from experience works pretty well. And then I have the Jigsaw dome going off to the side, so I can use that for trading and keyboarding. It doesn't have quite the robustness of the brackets that Tradovate does. And I haven't looked at the investor RT trading side of life at all. Here, I didn't use it. I didn't trade through it before. I only used it for charting, and I, you know, I've only had it up and running from this afternoon from the data. So I'm sure there's been quite a bit that they've done with it in the last 2 or 3 years since I used it before with the. I used to use it for market profile actually. So I'll get out my old chart definitions and set all that stuff back up in the next couple of days here. And I just wanted to see what the hell it looked like and if I could get it running and how it worked through the RTrader dome, RTrader or whatever the hell it's called. This is, if you've never seen RTrader, Rhythmic. This is the Rhythmic dome, which is just sorry, but it does work. I mean, and you can set up brackets and you can do whatever, but it's about as basic. And maybe you can add some different columns. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I looked at it. But so that's the RTrader dome, and it is, and it's providing the gateway for. I can also trade Rhythmic through the, which I have done on my other computer to test it out earlier. I can run the dome, the Jigsaw dome, and the Investor RT through the RTrader gateway. But because I want to trade the TopStep combine, the Jigsaw dome is running the TopStep combine. And it looks like we're making some headway here, but see, this is trading down at 38, and this was up here at 41, 38 and a half, 75. And of course, there will not be any order confirmation from the dome to the charting. Show you what I mean by that. There's an order down there, but there's nothing. There's no way that those are going to share across and be visible over here on the charts. And I'm sure they have something there. Now, when it is all being driven by Rhythmic, I would suppose that would be the case, that would be available. See what happens if we short one here. I don't know. They're kind of right at that baseline on the Renko. What are we talking about here? We're going on 9 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't short that. That'd be kind of a rude development. Been a lot of crazy action this afternoon, I've noticed, as I've been trying to set up these different charts and whatnot here. Quite a lot of goofiness. Something that I have to remember how to do. I hope I can remember how to do it. I don't like having the charting run right up here to the hard right edge, and along with the volume profile, I like the chart to stand off the volume profile. And I like a line at price. This has the line whether it's bid or offer and all that kind of stuff, flashing red and green. But there's a lot of configuration I haven't even thought about doing yet. Little chop zone going on over here in Renko world. That's for sure. What I have is a basic bracket set up here with an 8-tick profit and an 8-tick stop. So if I go into something, I can just manually move them around. Well, there's 5,200, and it's looks to me like it's lagging. Maybe not. I'd love to take a quick trade for. I can't stop yawning. Excuse me. I tell you, it's a short night. I don't function well on 3.5 hours sleep anymore. I'll tell you that. For sure. For sure. $12,560, huh? Yeah, 58 trade over here. So they came into value and they immediately got spanked and sent home. Not good. Little trading range here on the Renkos looks pretty common sense kind of deal. Now I wonder what happens if I go. Yeah, right. I'm still looking at the container for investor RT. I forgot about that. You can float these charts out too, which I haven't done. So that's what I'll have to do is, build a special Tradovate workspace that's just got the stuff I want where I want it. And then a couple of these floated out so that they're, they don't get all like this. When you click on Tradovate, it doesn't cover everything up and stupid stuff like that. Now we have an issue with the VWAP. I can see just right now off the top of my little head. There's 557, right? They've got VWAP clear up here, and Jigsaw, who's quite accurate usually, is right there at 475. So, and we're a little bit lower even than that, down here at about 455. on the VWAP for Investor RT. So I got to make sure that I know that Investor RT, for example, records every tick and every volume within every bar. And that's how they compute VWAP. So you can they actually have a bar type now, which is volume profile, I think it's called. And every bar is its own volume profile. I can't see why anybody would want to do that, but they got one. They got a million of them. Percent bars, and they got all kinds of stuff going on. Spread, you can do spreads. You can chart spreads. You can chart, I can have the ES 5-minute charted over right here on the same pane with the NQ 20 range. And it would, like as a line graph, you can have multiple instruments charted in the same space. And that would get kind of funky because you'd end up with two scales, of course, but they actually have a way to go about that. So I'm just wishing it would turn around and start selling off at the bottom of this down here again, like they've done here and here and here and here. And I hope here and get a couple of points out of it. Well, it looks as though, yeah, the value area jumped and the POC jumped all the way up here. POC is now up here, and the value area with hardly any excess. You can now see the little dotted line which marks the high. That box, I'm going to figure out a way to kind of shade that or change that color so it's a little more, it doesn't get lost, or do something with these standard deviation bars. I don't know, something. I haven't gotten too carried away with the configuration yet. Or is that the POC? Now I've got myself confused here. This is developing POC down here, this pink thing. Jumps up and moves over. What that is, I gotta see here. Now you can just click on stuff and it will tell you watermark, periodicity menu, now menu, candlestick, VWAP, profile split, visible bar. That's the setup there. Yeah, that's the POC, and this is developing POC. Okay. And this was a naked POC, which has now been cut from last night, I would suppose. And there's, you can there's all kinds of things you can do. You can have it mark last session's highs and lows and all kinds of stuff. Initial balance, opening range. Got a lot of things you can do visually. You can make a real mess out of your charts if you want to. They got a lot of options. Just have spaghetti going everywhere. Well, so much for the idea of shorting. I don't think so. have to get my thinking cap on for Renko trading again. I'm thinking that looks like a lot more deliberate chart. I used to trade Renkos and have some notes somewhere about that. I gotta refresh myself. $25.61. Yep, exactly. Smack on. Well, I didn't think I'd be up this long after the short night. I thought I'd be out like a light by now, so maybe I'll make it on to the open. Today's Tuesday, so be more than careful. Again, the rollover this is rollover week. Unfortunately, one of the 2 days last week when I didn't have any volume or any audio, I rolled over I went through how you roll charts on the Tradovate and went into did them all and described them as I did them with a narrative, and then goddamn audio wasn't there. Well, look at it go. Why aren't I long? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 points. 40 points. Yeah. Magical. Cum Delta is definitely up. I'm not sure I really like the looks of the way I've got this. I got to figure out a way to get this Delta set up better. And it says 16.2, 160,515. And we got 159.9 over here with Tradovate volume. And they have there's quote pages, and you can replicate a lot of this stuff. You can replicate all of this. The Performance Center, I don't know. I like the Performance Center with Tradovate. I don't know about that, whether it's what they've got set up there now or what, but it is kind of handy to have those stats. I'm sure they've got something because they're a hell of a lot more advanced in most ways than Tradovate, I believe. They're not a brokerage there, so their sole mission in life is the charting and supporting. In business a long time. Trevor at Market Delta used to work for and with Investor RT, and then split off on his own with the footprints and took the footprint charts with him. There was a big drama about all of that several years ago. Market Delta spun out of Investor RT, which was started, the whole Investor RT was started by William Lynn. That's why it's called Lynn Soft. Looks pretty spotty, doesn't it, the way it's jumping around? I got to figure out how to get that stupid thing on there so I would really like to have that cross guy up there. I don't know what to do exactly. I don't know what's the best way to go about doing it. I'm sure there's something you can click around here somewhere. And you can add buttons and do all kinds of stuff. Make it white, make it black, There's a selection of bar types you can have, charting types. goes on and on. Quite well. A bunch of sharp programmers, and they've been doing this. Chad has been working there. I personally have heard him comment that he's been there over 20 years. So, you know, you got a bunch of guys working every day on some software, on one software package. You got to imagine that thing has really done some evolving and is quite complex. Well, 75. No, something doesn't look right there. That thing was trading up there to 7,400, and it wasn't on the rhythmic feed. So that's that is not make me warm and fuzzy feeling indoors. Got a definite support area, resistance support, whatever you want to call it, right around there. That's just a line goes on forever. And DOC, I guess, from regular trading hours right here. What the hell that? I got to figure out what all this stuff is. I don't remember. I don't remember. 68.25. This hasn't moved off 68, and we were up 69 and change over there a minute ago. What happens if we take a sell here? Oh, that's probably right down at the support area. That's probably a pretty stupid place to do that. Awful long ways away from VWAP, and they're pretty much gap. They're looking at a gap, but the gap is into value. What happens here? P, I think it's a P type. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to enter that. There's that. There's this. No, I don't want that. I want the periodicity. Well, that's here, I think, or here. Yeah. That's that button. So I can look at a daily real quick like a bunny. Oh, that's kind of silly looking. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the problem. I've got the scale frozen. So that's not a good thing to do. Let's look at a 5-minute and see what happens. There we go. That's a little bit more sanitary looking. The scale I have fixed at 10 ticks because that's what I really like. Oh, they're coming down to VWAP or to the POC. Traded it right down to the POC. Now will they bounce it? Will they bounce it? Looks like so. Long way to go till they get down there to that open. Long way to go. 340. Settles 297, even lower than that. Wow. So I'm thinking this 100 or 2, 3, couple 100-point move here was a teaching the shorts a lesson. Now I'm screwed because I can't get to my got to remember how to get to the back to my range chart. That's something. I forget what. Let's see here. How the hell do I do that? That isn't it. Well, no. That's going to make me just angry as hell. Curiosity is that, oh wait, I know what it is. You go down here and click in the, double click the range. There we go. You double click in the bottom scale. That brings you into all of the, and I'll bet that little, I bet I can turn on that damn little thingamajig up here too. See, I've changed the font, scale of the font to large for the numbers for the, that's 24-hour session right-hand margin. Oh, wait, you know what that is? That's a chart type. That is a range. How do I get to that menu? I got to remember how to get to that menu. Ah, shoot. There we go. So here's the Renko. Sorry for the learning experience there. And now we're back to our range chart there. $20 or $50 range. Right at the POC, not the place to trade. And there's a way to squish this, but there's a way to squish this thing up too. I don't remember what it is. Well, that's kind of interesting. Look at that. Set the width of the candles by holding the shift control and scrolling in and out. Huh. That's pretty tricky. I mean, this thing will do a lot of, I suppose it probably sings and dances if you know what you're doing. Well, the POC's holding pretty tightly along here in this pre-market. The VPOC, I should say. And you adjust this like that by holding the shift down and the mouse wheel. Or you can use the arrow keys, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure. That chart looks funny to me. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks goofy. I don't know exactly why. Huh. It doesn't look right, and I'm not sure what I did. I like the looks and the scaling of this Renko a hell of a lot better, and I'm not sure why these are. They look short and fat, and I don't know why. I did set it on the right range, right? Oh no, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. It's not 5 ticks, it's 20. There we go. Now it's going to look a little different. Yeah. That looks a little more like it. 20 ticks, 5 points. That's a little bit better. I could figure out why that looked all squatty, and I was just... Got it. Got it. So we're coming up on 7:30, 07:30 Central, or 21:30 over here in Southeast Asia. And I hope that the audio is working and the audio is autoing and the video is videoing and all that kind of stuff. So what looks better to trade off of? This one? I like the Renko charts. The Renko charts on Tradovate suck. They don't have wicks, and that's not good. And point and figure works here. And there's a way to tighten this up. There's a way to bring these together, and I can't remember which keyboard thing it is, and scroll what and do something else. I don't know what the hell that's doing either. There should be a way to tighten up this scaling across here. Definitely can see that they're just got a consolidation or trading range right here on with the Renko charts. Looks a heck of a lot more consolidated than the feeling you get looking over here. Or at least it does to me. And I am going to be so out of here in the next top of the hour. I'm heading for bed. That's, I realize, pretty lame just before the open, but I'm tired, and I can safely say some more sleep is going to do me better than trying to trade and probably screwing up. Well, I don't know. At this point, I don't feel more comfortable with the investor RT, especially with this. And this is no fix right now. This is just to test and see if this looks like a viable solution, because it's a convoluted data hookup and a couple of demos and, stupid stuff like that. The bottom of the zipper here. And I don't think they'll bring it back to POC, maybe. Figures that just when I get everything set up and actually up on the trading computer that they go auto stupid and into a consolidation mode after flying 300 points across the across space in the Globex. That figures. I'm gonna go grab a water. I'll be right back. And per usual, they ran it up nicely while I was away. Thank you so much. Oh, head fake down here, huh? Taking it right up to the top, or close to it. It'll be interesting to see, and I gotta say, I don't remember how the profiles start or handled when you have a session change. Because obviously, I guess it'll just start building the new one over here, and as that one moves away, it'll be okay. I don't know, don't remember. But I'm sure I will figure it out. I would just love to grab a quick trade here, just for grins, but you know, I always forget to say that past performance is not indicative of future results. I am not a licensed anything. None of this is for trade advice or suggestions. It's my virtual or video, whatever you want to say, trading journal, and I narrate my thoughts, verbalize my thoughts, so that when I review the trade and the video, I can hear my thoughts and hear my logic and look at it with fresh and clear eyes and learn from that. And if anybody else can benefit from that process and my process here, I think that would be wonderful. I'd be very happy to be instrumental or be helpful to anyone trying to succeed at this. The main goal to remember is your main job is to be able to trade tomorrow. And you can do that by managing risk and creating your plan, not just, being a gunslinger. But that's really it. If you can manage your risk and always ensure that you're able to trade tomorrow, you will take enough samples of your trades and of your setups and your edge that it will have an opportunity to manifest itself, and you will achieve consistent profitability. So I don't think there's anybody that's a professional trader that would argue with that theory. Maybe. And I mean, serious traders, not somebody driving a Ferrari that trades Forex and is 12 years old or whatever. Some of the crazy stuff you see on YouTube. 17-year-old turns 50 cents into $9 million in 10 minutes. Jesus Christ. Always amazes me that how many people they have subscribed to their channels and all that stuff, and that those guys make a big money off that channel. I mean, that's all they do. They obviously don't make any money trading, being my guess. Or once in a while they get lucky and do, I don't know. So they're going to take it right up to the top, pretty close here. About 15 ticks off at the moment, 15 points off the high. Globex high, of course, not the daily. Interesting that the cumulative delta is not the same. How the hell can that be? Pretty close, but still. How can there be fewer trades on the same instrument in the same period of time simply because of a charting type compared to the other one? Doesn't make sense. But that's the same problem I have when VWAPs don't work. It's like, what the hell? How can this be? So they have put in at least two profile distributions here. Got quite a bit of excess on the downside. About 2 cat whiskers excess at the top above value. And we're right up within basically 10 points of now. Yeah, about 10, 12 points from the Globex high. So what's up with that? Trying to screw some shorts, I guess. Couple of interesting things. We can do that over here, yeah. We can look at the daily here. And you can see that they brought it right down through that area that I pointed out Friday. That was going to be the next stop for the test, and that's just exactly what they've done. And now they're consolidating around back over here again, and they got an inside. No, it's not an inside bar exactly. Got a couple little consolidation down here. Obviously, structure is completely broken when it comes to that up move. So still look for the lows down here around 12. Yeah, I don't know. 12,130, 12,138 in that area somewhere. Don't forget these are 100-point ticks here. So yeah, it's quite a lot more dramatic than it says, than it looks when this is all squished up like this. So here we go. Coming on the top of the hour, 30 minutes before the open. Obviously, all of the clocks and the timing indicators on investor RT are set to my time zone here. That's how they work off that clock. That reminds me, the other day this thing seemed to be quite off. I want to see if it's still goofy. Oh, it doesn't appear to me. All right. Well, who knows? Up here in the corner, up there in that tippy toe corner of that box like that, I'm not too excited to do something. Huh. You can't put this thing in the middle of that area there. It's either the top or the bottom. That's pretty weird. Go figure. Not that it matters, but I just... So, 99 quarter, yep. How are you guys going to sell this thing off, or what's going to happen here? One would think there might be some opportunity to break through this consolidation here until you look over here at the Renko, and it looks like you just kind of drop right back in on top of it. So, kind of interesting. I will need to drop off here at the top of the hour. I was hoping I could get a trade on, but I'm not going to force it. I am liking the looks of this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch the open, which was my intention. But I've got another 5:30 call from now on because school has started again. So we get up and make our daughter breakfast and lunch, and I take her down to the door and to the door bus and get her off to school, and then I swing back through the gym for a couple hours and then get the day going. So tomorrow night's going to be a late one because there's a bunch of meetings we've got scheduled for some new product decisions to make. So that's what yesterday was about. Also was a preparation for those meetings tomorrow. So shucks, I was thinking a trade would be nice, but they just keep being something. I don't know what. Being uncooperative is what they're being. So the volume profiles are painting the same. That's a good thing. Looks to me like the VWAPs, I got to make sure those are both set right to calculate from exactly the same starting point. So we roll into the top of the hour here. If you're going to trade, I wish you the best of luck. Remember that your mission is to manage your risk and be able to trade tomorrow. I'll stick on here for a little bit, but I gotta take care of some stuff, and I'm dragging pretty hard, so I will let discretion be the better part of valor, and I don't think I'll be trying anything here going into the open. And they don't look like they're doing any moving, which is kind of rollover week is generally a good week to trade, maybe micros, or certainly not as aggressively, because there's a lot of positioning and things happen that I guess the polite way to say that, or politically correct way to say it, is there's more positioning and gamesmanship during this week than the other times, because they're trying to hold for option expiries and rollover and jockeying into position for rollover, and a lot of things going on. It's sometimes worse than a quad witching. You can make money, but be careful, and there can be a lot of shenanigans going on out there. Doggone, I really was intent on wanting to try to get a trade off here and see how all of that worked, but nothing will happen on these charts. Obviously, the results of the trade would record here, and I'd be trading off the Jigsaw Dome as opposed to the Tradovate charts. But when I put an order on the Dome, there would be no reflection of that order here on the what's going on with that? There would be no reflection of that on the charting, because they're on separate data feeds. So I will wish you the best of luck. I don't think I'm going to make it to the open here. I'll see if I take care of a couple of chores around here, and I'll peek back in. I'll leave the stream running in case I do make it to the open and watch what happens. I'd kind of like to see how the reaction is between the Tradovate data and Jigsaw and the Rhythmic data. Rhythmic also has a gateway in Singapore, which is just about 100 miles south of me here. So, but it doesn't seem to work with the paper trade account, which is what I'm on now, the demo thing. So that it's now this trade gateway is Chicago on the Rhythmic side, and who knows where it is on Tradovate. You don't have a choice about that. They just fire it up and away you go. There's no selection of data or anything. No such luck. I hope the audio and things are okay. I made some adjustments and stuff the other day over the weekend. I still don't have the Shure SM7B mic. I'm kind of a lot of other things going on. The stand-up desk was huge, and I moved on that first. So I will step away and try to wrangle my daughter into bed. Oh, look at this now. Going right up to that high. Well, if the overnight stat doesn't get made in the first couple of heartbeats, I'll be amazed. They're bumping on the door, knocking on the door there now anyway. There's value area high. Remember that overnight stat is that 90+%, about 96 or 7, I think, the last time it was run. The regular trading hours, traders will take out either the Globex high or the Globex low in the next regular trading session, or cash, or whatever you want to call it. And so when we're, 3 ticks away, if it were to open now, well, as well as I do, it's going to pop up there. That's the stat. It's not really tradable, but it's interesting to see how consistent it proves out, bears out, whichever correct way. All right, I'm going to step away and get things going for the shutdown here. All right, so she's getting organized here, and they're just bumping up there at the value area high. Real interested to see what's going to happen here in another 20 minutes. I'll try to stick this out till they open and see if we see how these charts react. These are, just to recap, these are Investor RT, Lin Soft Software. I think they're from Atlanta. This is the Jigsaw Dome, and this is the Performance Center and the quote board from Tradovate. So the Jigsaw is running on the hooked into the Tradovate feeds for the TopStep combine. And right now I'm just testing the Investor RT on a rhythmic data feed, because what my plan is at the moment, rather than drop the combine now, I'm in stage 2, step 2 at about halfway through or something, a little less than halfway. Rather than drop that and go back to square one and run a new combine with rhythmic and Investor RT, I'm going to go on to, I'll just kick this out aggressively in the next couple of 10 days or so so that I get the funded account, and then I can start then I can do a combine on Investor RT and Rhythmic, assuming that this, I've got a 2-week trial here, and Bill Lynn said he'd extend it for me because I had some problems getting the data feed hooked up and figured out and stuff like that. So I will, and I'll see if I can milk a little more time out of Rhythmic if I have to. But basically, I have 10 days or 2 weeks of demo to try this setup that I got rigged up here right now today, so that I can see kind of what I think it might happen. And they're starting to bounce around a little here. We're 10 past the hour. So it would look like this with the Tradovate charts. Oops, let's get off the daily and back to the back to here. This is Tradovate. Now I can set up TPO charts. Actually, they're one of the first outfits to have the real honest to goodness TPO is Investor RT. So I'll have all of that set up probably the next time I join the stream, which will be on either tomorrow early or the day after, because tomorrow night's going to be a meeting marathon till God knows when in the morning, my time. Yesterday was 2:30 in the morning. So, and then I will, I've reproduced the cumulative delta, and I want to get the relative volume working a little bit more like this one, because that's what I'm used to. It used to be, Peter Davies used to have one of these called the cumulative, he called it the sheep index, because it's like you could tell which way the sheep are all running in a pack. Cumulative sheep index or something he used to call it. It's what it is a relative volume. So over the day before or however many periods back. And that kind of mathematics and computations and charting stuff with Investor RT that's what they're all about. But this one is just cumulative delta now, cumulative volume now from the beginning of the Globex session. Cumulative volume or delta is the same. And this is the 20 period range chart. And this is a 20 tick Renko. So there we have it. I'll be back in a flash. All right, so 15 minutes, I should be able to tough it out and watch this open here. I don't want to fall asleep and knock my teeth out on the front of my desk or something here. I think I'll be all right. And I'm really curious to see how the reaction of the two separate data feeds. I guess if I guess I could pull up that rhythmic dome, see how it moves. Well, I'll just see how the two charts move, how the charts move against the dome, the jigsaw dome. And there we go. This pink line that's jogging around over here is the developing POC. So it's kind of interesting. You can see where it started and how it moved, whether they're pulling it up or pulling it down. If if for some reason you can't figure out what's going, that there's a 400 point or 300 point or whatever the hell that move was in the Globex, you can't figure that was happening from then you can look at the developing volume. Or POC, I may take it off. I don't know. I just left it ticked on there when I started the charts. And there we go. That is something I remember about Investor RT. If you pull your charts over here like, whoa. Pull your charts over here like this, they'll stay there. And you'll wonder why the hell they're not updating or moving or anything else. And it's because you pulled it over there and it's waiting for you to come back here and move it over to, I suppose there's a hotkey for that. I got to check it out because that can be kind of annoying. Well, are they going to come through here now? I still haven't figured out where that little toolbar went so I can get the crosshairs back on here. I mean, I know where it went. I hit the X because I wanted it out of the way temporarily, and I can't for the life of me remember how to pull it back up, but I'll have that sorted out by tomorrow. And I should have a profile chart built. Try to replicate those two as they are on Tradovate, more or less. I'm thinking I may have it split over the top. Yeah, we'll see. I might set it up exactly the same way. I don't know. Well, 17 minutes. I don't think it would be prudent to be in a trade going into the open now. Of course, they're pulling it off, and it would be just chim dandy to get in one here with a 20-point move there. Coming down off a 10. So we will see. Okay. Well, we'll quickly do the pre-market again. It's definitely risk on. Pretty much across the board, I would suppose. Happening with the dollars, he's still getting hammered. Dollar index is down, trying to get up a little bit, but right now they're off. 0.264% or 0.29%. Everybody else is green. CL's probably up. No, CL's coming off. So they're out of money's moving out of the energies into the indices. Oh, now what are you going to do? I'm so happy. Why are you doing that now? Jesus, why would they do that 10 minutes before the open? That is too crazy. I never understand that with these guys. And our daily chart is right there. So we obviously broke the structure. We've come down to the area that I pointed out on Friday. I tested that a couple of times here, and are we going to test up now? Maybe to that wick, or are we going to fall back off? That's the big question. So trade safe. Your main and only real mission is risk management and being able to trade tomorrow. All your great ideas and your edge is just completely useless if you blow up your account. So your goal is to take as many trades or not string on, but be able to take as many samples of your edge and your setups as you can, so that your edge can manifest itself, and that produces consistent profitability. Absolutely. And I have as yet not made the last video, the conclusion to the Holy Grail, but it's I will definitely do that, and it's important. So the first one video there is on the site or the channel, and it lays out quite a few of the basics and some interesting stuff with how you can plan your pick the right product based on your account size, and how you can give yourself a much, much, much bigger edge just being able to stay in the game by, logical and analytical thinking. And there's a tool there that I built and use, and I demonstrate too just how much impact tick size, tick cost, and trade size can make on the possibility of you being successful or not, because of the number of trades or samples that you can put into the database, which is what your edge will manifest itself against. So we have 22 after the hour, 8 minutes till the open. What are they gonna do? Run it down, run it up, smack the overnight high, put that stat in, and then where are they going? Then where are they going? Who knows? I know where I'm going. I'm going to bed. But I'll watch the open here, and then I will sign off and wish you all the best. Remember to wash your hands and wear your mask and be safe. Kind of like risk management. It doesn't do you any good if you're dead. Life is short and you're dead a long time, so make the most of it and take care of it. And I really want to Google how to get that damn little thing up there. Will they bring it back to the POC? More than likely. What do we got for areas here? Well, there's our POC. We've got support and resistance across here. Was a naked POC from the future or the past that's been taken out in this Globex. There's the range high. There's the value area high. VWAP's way down here, and go away. And we're miles off the open settlement, so huge gap. They're probably not going to get that filled. settle us down here at 297. Right about 297. Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? Settlement's not even on the chart. Wow, settlement's clear down here. Wow. Oh. Okay. All right, hook in and hang on. Best of luck. You got 5 minutes to the open. Manage your risk. Trade your plan. Plan your trade and trade your plan, however that saying goes. Make the plan, work the plan, or something. Anyway, if you find value in the stream, and I hope you do, I hope it's interesting and somewhat educational, mash the subscribe button and the like thing. And if you want to know when I come on at the random hours that I do, put the little bell and you'll get notified. The subscribe and the thumbs up is apparently quite important to the YouTube algorithm to point people here, and it would be quite nice to have a robust and interactive community of like-minded traders, you know, that helping each other out and all focused on achieving the goal of consistent profitability. That's really what it's all about. And I can't believe that 297 on the settlement. Wow, that's a hell of a long way down there. They're 250 points off of that, almost. Well, they were 250 points off it right there. Almost 300. Incredible. There's a lot of good action in Globex these last few days with the volatility, and somebody's been making a pile of money. It hasn't been me because I've been busy doing other stuff, and I don't know. It's crazy. It's a matter of priorities. I have to set them. I have to recalibrate my priorities because there's been a lot of money and a lot of opportunity during these Globex sessions. Absolutely. 3 minutes, more or less. They're coming up to smack that open or that high. I would say that's a gone goose. Here in about a couple of cat whiskers, and that's going to be long gone. Well, they've already put in a new one. That's pretty funny. I couldn't wait. Couldn't wait. A little bit higher. Just pull it up a little bit more. I'm wondering when this, there we go. Now the session high just moved up. There we are. Just going to ask when that was going to happen. Well, I would say they're going to take that out and probably run to the top for a bit and then get their on open business out of the way. They are long like nobody's business, but they're long into they're long into the previous day's range and value. So that's different than being out of range and out of value, in my opinion. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, well, they're ripping right off and they're staying right with it, so that's, well, we're at 26, 27, 28. Well, yeah. They got up to as high as about 32 there. And the Renko is just butting right along.
Order filled.
Oh, wrong
Stop
direction.
filled.
Wrong direction. Look at that. Just a little swing there. Oh, so that's how it works. They jump off and then the value area comes in here. Well, that's disappointing.
Order
I think
filled.
they're still going the right way.
Stop
Man,
filled.
that's 2 in a row. What am I doing wrong here? I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, I'm not going to be doing that trading anymore. We're 300 down. I obviously something. I'm not sure what, but I thought I saw sellers in here and sellers down here, and I guess they just brought it down to that. Now these will start putting in the balance. I just brought it down there. So, okay. Well, they've put in the overnight stat has been met. Okay, so you see how the color changes now. The darker blue is outside and is the value. Is excess and the gray is value, so it's kind of flips around. Renko looks a lot more normal there, doesn't it? Well, they just don't seem to be wanting to go down towards that POC or anything. And these volatility moves, they're still pretty jumpy. See if we can get one in here anyway.
Stop filled.
Man, wow, that's all for me. I obviously haven't got that working right. Or I'm off the charting or whatever else. Anyway, so it's working and it's keeping up, and that's a good thing. I like the way it's moving out. I like the Renko actually looking better than this thing. Disappointed about that thing down there. 3 in a row for 450. That sucks. But anyway, I definitely haven't got the rhythm figured out on this day. But I am pretty happy with the fact that the rhythmic data is just putting right along and seems to be keeping right up. Sorry. Three shorts and 3 stop outs. You'd think I would have learned and gone long, wouldn't you? That's what happens when you get a Your mind is somewhere else. All right, so I wish you all the best of luck. We're 4 minutes in, and I'm 3 trades down, and that's just fine with me. And there's the stat, and then they're going to go wherever they're going to go. I don't know, but they're going to go there without me today. That just irritates me right there to no end. But I do like the way this charting looks, and so that part makes me encouraged. What we got for view up here? 617. This is still way off. It's got to get recalculated up here someplace. Oh, it's probably it's what's happening is it's maintaining itself from the Globex. But I do like the way this period's changed. Kind of like the looks of that wrinkle a lot better. And I like the wrinkle with the wick. All right, well, that sucks, 450 down, but hey, I will be able to trade tomorrow. So I'm not worried about that. Actually, I won't be able to trade tomorrow. Well, maybe earlier in the Globex, but not during the open or the regular trading session because I'll be tied up. So trade well, trade safe, wash your hands, wear your mask. Wow, look at that zipper. So much easier to see a tight consolidation zone like that than, I mean, you can tell that's what's going on here, but it's so much less noise involved there, I think. All right. Damn, I'd like to have that. It always puzzles me how quickly you can lose $450. Should be able to make it just as easily. So all that had to happen there, because each trade that you take, that next trade, the odds are 50-50. It's either going to go up or it's going to go down, period. And that's proven and accepted. That the next trade, the odds of the very next trade are always 50-50. Even if you've got 100,000 skew 80-20 behind you in historical data in this next trade, their odds are 50-50. So had I just clicked buy instead of sell on these three, I'd be sitting up $150. That's the way you have to look at it. I mean, and that is it. So trade well, wash your hands, stay safe. I will end the stream here, and I'm going to get my monkey butt to bed so I can be rested up for tomorrow because it's another long one. So all the best, trade well, trade safe, make lots of money. But remember, manage your risk and be able to